everyone, welcome to another exciting episode of Dayspring Discussions. I am your host, Sean McGahee, and this is the show where we talk about movies, sci-fi, comic books, TV, fantasy. Basically, if you geek out about it, we're going to talk about it. With me today is my Spectre 2, Miss Lisa Locke McGahee.
Hello.
Hey guys, it's good to be here. Alright, so if you're first now listening to the show, Lisa and I are going to run through a couple of stories that came out last week. We're going to discuss them. And then, of course, you can always chime back on social media, giving us your 2 cents as well. Now, today's show is going to kind of break down into 3 categories. We have Star Wars, X-Men, and DC film movies. So, which one do you want to start off with first? Although I think I already know.
I don't really care, but let's start with Star Wars.
Okay, yes, of course, start off Star Wars. So last week's show, we talked about the big thing, which was Batman v Superman: Dawn of Justice. This week, or last week, I guess you could say, the big thing that happened for me and Lisa was the Season 2 finale of Star Wars Rebels. And guys, if you're a Star Wars fan and you're not watching Rebels,
you're making a mistake.
What's wrong with you, really? It was a phenomenal finale. Even better, I think, than the Season 1 finale, in my opinion. But to start off, Lisa, what was your impression of it?
I mean, I really liked it. I mean, especially because this season, there was one high point, and then it's kind of been trucking along.
They had to do extended episodes. Like, they had to do more episodes this season than last season as well. So, again, I think you had those filler episodes.
But I don't think any of them were filler. I mean, I think it's just, they weren't all exciting. They all had a purpose. They all did something they should have, but they weren't all exciting.
They weren't all.
But this one was like the culmination of everything. And
yeah,
it was
this is the majority of what they gave us in that mid-season trailer a while back that everyone's been waiting for. I mean, this was it. It was action-packed. It was the classic showdown between Darth Vader and Ahsoka. We got to see Darth Maul. A lot of stuff happened. So let's just kind of go down piece by piece and see. So starting off, of course, I think one of the big things, Darth Maul is back, or Maul, as he's calling himself. He appeared in this episode to Ezra, and he, I don't know, I got that kind of dark Yoda vibe from him, because when Ezra first saw him, he appeared kind of frail, or acted kind of frail, but when the time came, when the Inquisitors showed up, he busted it out, and he kicked some butt. So I don't know what he's been doing all this time between the last time we saw him in Clone Wars. Well, most people saw him at the end of Clone Wars. There was the graphic novel, Son of Dathomir, was the first time officially in canon, was the last time we saw him. I'm curious how he got on Malachor, and I'm curious
Seemed like he'd been there a while.
Yeah, I'm curious what I bet he's probably been there for a while and waiting for someone to help him out.
Yeah.
Because remember, he couldn't get into the temple without someone else being there. So I think he had to wait for someone naive enough, like Ezra, to help him out in that. And of course, the whole episode, he was tempting Ezra and kind of feeding into the theory that Ezra's got a little dark side we might actually see in season 3. And he lasted too. He's at the end of the episode. So you think we're going to see a lot of him in season 3?
Maul?
Yeah.
I don't think we'll see a lot of him, but I think we'll see him.
Yeah. And the thing about him too, he's out for himself. You know, he's not with the rebels. He's not with the Empire. So he's dangerous from both sides.
Yeah.
But I loved, again, Sam Witwer came back and voiced him. Great job. Love Sam. I know you love Sam Witwer.
I love Sam Witwer.
Of course, yes. You know, I watched the Rebels Recon afterwards, and they did an interview with him. And you know how he used to watch, Being Human? And the way, like, his character Aiden dressed, I swear he just dresses like that normal.
In real life,
He's got that leather jacket and everything.
Yeah,
So I'm like, well, he didn't really actually have to get dressed or anything for that role. But all right. So Maul was awesome. The Sith Temple seemed pretty cool.
That was really cool.
Yeah, it was a temple, but it was a weapon, I guess, what it was.
Yeah, see, I'm not really sure what its purpose was when they, activated it at the end. I don't know what it was gonna do.
Yeah.
But,
I felt like it was gonna take off and do something maybe, or
I don't know. It was cool, though. Whatever it was gonna do.
It was pretty cool. I'm curious to see what else is inside there. Because now, you know, they got the Sith holocron to activate it. And Ezra still has the Sith holocron. Curious what else maybe it can do. Maybe it can go to other Sith temples and activate other temples, perhaps, or something.
I don't know.
We don't know. I guess we'll just have to wait and see. Big surprise for me was Darth Maul took his lightsaber and he blinded Kanan. Kanan he can't see anymore.
Nope.
It's all dark.
Yep.
But yeah, that was kind of a surprise. I did not expect that. Out of everything in this episode, that was probably the thing I expected the least. And going forward, I think it really changes not only his character, but I think the whole dynamic for all the show characters as well. Because Kanan is essentially the leader. He's Spectre 1. They've all kind of followed his lead along with Hera, sort of. So now I think he's going to have to step back a little. Ezra might take a little step up. Maybe Zeb and Sabine might step up a little. And it's going to be interesting to see where they go from here, especially from Kanan's perspective. He's going to have to rely more on his Jedi abilities.
Yeah,
as we
definitely.
saw at the end of season 2 there, we saw, which I loved, how he put on the mask.
Yeah, that was cool.
And Maul came at him, and he still was able to handle Maul. But of course, when the younglings, what do they do when they start? They have the blinders on and they practice with Yoda. So this kind of basics for them, really.
Yeah.
But the real thing is that, given the character of Kanan, I know you're still listening to New Dawn on the audiobook, but if you go from that, where Kanan at that point had completely rejected his Jedi teachings, didn't even, activate his lightsaber at all in that book, and when he met Hera, and then he met Ezra, and as the show has progressed, he's, kind of embracing more of his Jedi training, which he rejected earlier, and then in the couple episodes earlier, he was actually knighted, where he's actually a Jedi Knight now. Yeah. So going from that short time where he wanted nothing to do with the Jedi to now he really has to rely on what his master and Yoda and all those other things that taught him, I think, to survive.
Yeah, I think it's been a neat progression not just watching how Kanan's evolved, but because, I've been reading New Dawn and I've seen kind of where he started.
Yeah, where it came from.
Yeah, like where he came from, and then in the Kanan comic too, like you're getting more. I really enjoyed watching Kanan's his character arc.
Okay, I have something I'm going to save for the next one. Okay, next topic, of course, Ezra. Ezra, what are you doing, you stupid, silly kid?
Well, he's like the picture. He's Anakin.
He's a better version of Anakin.
He is. He's a better version of Anakin. You can see what's happened to him in his life. He's an easy target for the dark side.
Yeah, exactly. Because he has strong Force abilities, but he hasn't had much training. And especially with what he's been through in his life, losing his parents, living on the streets, and not having the power, and then being able to get the power now. It's seductive, I guess you could say. And Maul knew that, and I think he tapped into that. And then at the end there, you see
he opened the holocron.
He opened the holocron, and of course, someone who can tap into the dark side are the only people who are supposed to be able to open a Sith holocron. He was able to do that, so it means he's got a little dark in him, and of course you saw that little flash of red in his eyes. So I think that Ezra is going to go dark side this next season, and I think
he's going to be on the fence.
I think by the end of the season, he's going dark side.
By the end of the season, he will be, I think, Maul's apprentice.
So here's my thing. You know how I used to have the theory that Obi-Wan has to be the one to kill Maul? I would be okay now if either A, Kanan killed Maul after what he did to him, and then B, if Ezra kills Maul as kind of the completion of his Jedi dark side, journey.
Yeah, I don't know. We'll see.
Because that's how Anakin, he killed Dooku, killed his enemy, and that kind of solidified his
journey to
the dark side. Exactly. So I think Ezra could do that. So another reason I think that Ezra is going to go completely dark this season is there's rumors sprouting up again that there was rumors back in 2014. Now they're starting up again that season 3 is the last season of Rebels.
What?
So what it is, of course, you got Rogue One on the horizon. So allegedly, Rebels is going to end right before Rogue One. You get Rogue One, and then you get a new animated series, is what I've heard. That isn't going to be Rebels. It might maybe have a character or two from Rebels, but next season might be the last for the crew of the Ghost.
That's sad.
It is kind of sad. We've loved these characters, but I'm interested to see, of course, they're talking about how Rebels, the end of this next season of Rebels, is going to be a lead-in to Rogue One. So do you think maybe there's a possibility we're going to see any of our Rebel characters in Rogue One?
I don't know. I mean, it depends on how. I don't know.
I think we can count Ezra and Kanan out. I believe, if definitely Ezra, maybe a glimpse of Kanan, depending on where his journey takes him at the end of the season. I don't see Zeb there. I don't see Hera there. Most likely, I see Sabine.
Yeah, it could be.
Because when Felicity Jones was cast in the title role, people were like, "Ooh, I wonder if she's Sabine," and we're like, I don't know about that. But I can see him popping up. I'm curious to see where they go with the characters after Rebels because, again, I've liked the entire crew of the Ghost. I want to see what happens to them. I hope they live long and fruitful lives, but it's Star Wars,
so they won't.
So we don't know, especially since none of them are in the original trilogy, but that doesn't mean anything. I always thought Ahsoka was going to bite it at the end of Clone Wars, and she's popped up in Rebels, and guess what? She survived Rebels, allegedly.
I think she's alive.
Okay, let's go right to that. Darth Vader versus Ahsoka.
That was badass.
Yeah, that was awesome. That was a really good fight. I went and I rewatched it on YouTube a couple times since we've seen the episode. Just I think the verbiage of it is really cool. There's that scene where they're thrown down, and Vader's like, Anakin Skywalker was weak. I destroyed him. And so Ahsoka's like, then I will avenge his death. Revenge is not what a Jedi does. And she like, I am no Jedi.
Yeah.
That was just badass, like...
Yeah. But then, like, right, and then especially after that, when then she has the realization that he truly is Anakin.
When she cut him and she saw his eyes.
Yeah, and then when she realizes that really is Anakin, and then she's so torn, you can see that...
But okay, when they did that too, when he saw his eye, he didn't look like he was still scarred there. Like, he's supposed to be burnt to a crisp in his face.
Yeah.
He had eyebrows still.
Okay, Mr. Picky.
I'm just saying, I'm not the only one that's picked up on it. Other people have as well. But yeah, I think they did that. I can see it being more of an illusion as opposed to what she actually sees, because to see Anakin, that's, what she had to see in that instance. But, so then at the end of the day, they fight, the temple blows up, we see Vader walk away, and then we see that snow owl, or whatever that creature is, go fly into the cave, where it looked like Ahsoka survived and she was going deeper into the temple or into the cave. Now, in an interview with executive producer Dave Filoni said, somebody asked her that question about how, Ahsoka survived, she went further in the cave. And he's like, really? Is that what you saw? That's neat. So he played with it, I think, a little bit. But I think Ahsoka did survive. Filoni did say that, kind of indicate that Ahsoka's journey in Rebels is complete. But of course, we'll probably see her pop up in something else. My hope is that Ahsoka goes underground now till, like, during the original trilogy, she's underground, she's keeping low. Because of her confrontation with Vader or Anakin, she feels really scarred by it, the realization, and, and then she hears that Vader or Anakin is dead, along with the Emperor. She pops back up after Return of the Jedi and meets Luke, or Luke finds her, or something like that, and then be like, and she goes and she sits down with Luke and maybe even Leia, and be like, okay, well, you guys don't know who your parents were. All you knew was Darth Vader. Let me tell you who Anakin Skywalker was.
That would be cool.
Actually get to know their actual dad, and even tell her about their mom too, because, she knew Padme as well. So that's my optimistic point of view. I don't know if it's actually going to happen or not, but
maybe in a book. Yeah,
I don't think we're going to see.
I'd love to see Ahsoka in a film.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, I don't think that's the thing. It's a general. The movie, the TV shows, the books, the comics, they all feed off of the movies. It's not the other way around. Just like Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D., nothing that happens in Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. is going to affect the Marvel movies, but it happens vice versa. So I think that's how it's going to be. I'd love to see her, but I just want to see more of Ahsoka.
Yeah, I like Ahsoka.
And we're going to get more of her coming up in the next story. The last thing I want to talk about was the Inquisitors. They all bit it.
Yeah, that was they were all pretty pathetic. And what about their little flying lightsabers?
Oh my God.
That was pretty lame.
I know. I mean, I guess if they would have established that in an earlier episode with them doing that, I think I would have liked it more than all of a sudden just like, they could all of a sudden do this. How come they haven't done it in all those, other episodes we've seen them do it? I don't know, but yeah, I mean that's not all the Inquisitors though. I don't think, right?
No, there should be more.
There's still like a couple of more out there, so I could see taking a break from the Inquisitors though, especially with Maul out there running around. That would be awesome.
Yeah.
But another thing, I was on Twitter like the day after or whatever, and Leland Chi, one of the storyboard guys.
Story group guys.
Yeah, story group guys, along with Pablo Hidalgo, was talking. He was tweeting out about the season finale, and he said, "quote Blink and you'll miss it. This is definitely one of those episodes you want to watch more than once." So I don't know if he's talking about something we've already picked up on, or something we haven't. So obviously, we have to go back and rewatch it.
Obviously.
A couple times, probably.
Yeah.
Definitely watch the whole season again before season 3 comes out. So, but that'd be cool. But yeah, a great season of Rebels. I mean, it gets me more excited for season 3. What are you expecting from season 3? What do you think is going to happen?
I don't know, because I don't know. I can never predict where they're going.
Because they said this season 2 was kind of like The Empire Strikes Back, which I see that. Season 1 ended on a more hopeful note. Season 3, the characters have been through the ringer.
Season 2,
more of a season 2, yes. Season 2, they've been through the ringer. It's more of a downplayed note. It's not exactly a happy ending. So then maybe season 3 is going to be our Return of the Jedi.
I guess we'll see.
Either that, or maybe it'll be another Revenge of the Sith.
I don't know. Maybe it'll be... I don't know. I mean, I'm excited to see wherever it goes. I mean, I really like this season because it really... I like that it delved into the backstories of all the characters.
Yeah, it did. We got a couple Zeb episodes. We got a couple Sabine episodes.
Yeah.
I really want to know more about Sabine.
Yeah.
Because, her Mandalorian background, and I want to know how her fallout, which I don't think we'll see in Rebels. I think it's one of the things we'll see probably in a book or a comic or something like that. That's great. I love that just they've given us these more characters to love in the Star Wars universe. We don't just have... the movie characters, we have all these other characters now that we can, hope for more adventures from. So that'll be good.
Yeah, I mean, it's nice, too, reading the books, now that I've been reading some more of the books to go along with it, because, in the New Dawn, I'm getting a lot more of Kanan's backstory, and then when I read, the Sith one, what was that called?
Oh,
Lords of the Sith.
Lords of the Sith, yes.
Because that one is kind of like backdoor Hera's backstory.
Yeah, it's got Hera's dad in it.
Yeah, because it's about Hera's dad, and they talk about her in it. No, I mean, it's about him. It's not about her, but you get a lot of her. You can kind of see where she's coming from.
Yeah,
and I really enjoyed getting all that extra stuff from the books too.
Cool. All right, so moving on from here, the day after the season finale of Rebels, Disney Lucasfilm put out an announcement saying that Ahsoka Tano will actually be featured in her own young adult novel coming out in October. Now, this novel is said to feature the time period between when Ahsoka leaves the Jedi Order at the end of the Clone Wars and before she appears on Rebels as the operative Fulcrum. Fulcrum. Yes, that's how I say it.
Like in Chuck.
Yes, exactly. See, that's why I love this girl. She knows what's up. Okay? All right, so Dave Filoni, again, creator or co-creator of Ahsoka, and executive producer of Rebels, had this to say, quote, Ahsoka has a long history, and there is much more to it than the fans know. I have always worked on her story, even parts that I know we will probably never see on screen. By broadening her story from the animated series to the written page, I feel we have a real opportunity to provide fans with details about her character that they would not know otherwise. We are also responding to the strong fan support that we have seen Ahsoka receive over the last 8 years. The fans want more Ahsoka, and we are going to give it to you. And since I've been there since the beginning, I am dedicated to working with publishing to help make this book as authentic a part of her story as we filmed it for the series. The book is going to be penned by E.K. Johnston. Never heard of him. And like I said, it comes out October 11th, 2016. I'm kind of excited, especially after the Rebels season finale. I'm kind of excited to read this book, especially since it's going to take place when Ahsoka popped up in season 2. I've been waiting to hear what happened to her. Where was she during Order 66? That's what I want to know.
Yeah, I'm just excited for a book about her, period. I don't care what period of her life it's about. I really have been enjoying the books, and so I'm really excited for a book for her, about her. Yeah,
I mean, this character, of course, when she popped up at the beginning of the Clone Wars movie, I thought she was so annoying. And of course, spending 6 years with her, watching her develop on
she
Clone
was like
Wars.
a little baby at the time.
Well, a youngling, yes.
Yeah.
And, well, she was a teenage girl, and even when I was a teenage boy, I barely liked teenage girls. Couldn't talk to them at all.
Yeah. Anyway.
But anyway, but yeah, then she developed, and of course now she popped up on Rebels, and now she's one of my favorite Star Wars characters. I want to know more about her. I want to see what happens to her, and I really hope that she pops up in a post Jedi world. I think that'd be great. I don't see her going beyond that though. I don't see her still being around come Force Awakens. Like, she's not underground during Force Awakens, but I can see her being underground in that 30-year period between Return of the Jedi and Force Awakens. I can see her popping up. Whether I see her making it past that, I don't know, but I would love for her to meet Luke. I would love for her to meet Luke and Leia and be like, "You're Anakin's children."
Mm-hmm, that would be cool.
That'd be really, really cool. Speaking of which, totally forgot to mention, of course, guys, if you haven't gone out today, got your copy of Star Wars The Force Awakens. Came out on Blu-ray today. Looks like a lot of cool special features. As I've been driving around today, I've been listening to the score. So, get myself excited so we can watch that tonight as well. Alright, guys. So, moving on, of course, more Star Wars news. Did you read this little tidbit here I talked about?
I don't remember.
So, let me
There's been a lot going on the last few days.
I know. We've been moving. It's all that jazz. So this little picture popped up. So a little fan theory is what people are calling it. And it's about how Rex might have survived. Yeah. So for those of you who know, in
just
Return of the
because
Jedi,
there's an old man with a beard.
there's an old man with a beard very similar to Rex's, and it was in Return of the Jedi when Han goes and taps that stormtrooper, and he's like, "Hey!" And he runs around, and he got the rebels sitting there. One of them has a nice white beard that very much resembles Rex's. Of course, this is just a fan hope.
Do you know how many men
theory.
have white beards like that?
I'm just saying, it looks kind of cool to know that Rex survives. That far would be cool. Because I'm on the assumption, I'm putting Rex in that same category. At the beginning of the season, I thought that Vader was going to take out Ahsoka, and I thought he was going to take out Rex, because that is. Those
the links to Anakin.
Yeah, links. Aside from Obi-Wan and Padme, those were two people that were closest to him. And Vader has such reveres, or what's the word I'm looking for? Hates, reveres.
I don't know what you're talking about.
Anyway,
not reveres. That's a good thing.
That's probably not. But he has such hate for anyone that reminds him of Anakin Skywalker. So maybe if Rex sticks around in season 3. Maybe him and Vader will eventually meet, and maybe Rex will meet his end, and this guy in Jedi will just be some old guy with a white beard. Don't know.
I don't know. I think it's just some old guy with
I think
a
it
white
is,
beard.
but it's a nice. Again, I'm an optimist. Okay, I like to think they live happy lives. Although we don't know if this guy actually survives through the Battle of Endor too. I guess so. It can't be too optimistic about it.
Yeah.
He might have gotten accidentally run over by an Ewok or something like that. You don't know, but.
Yeah.
All right, so last story in regards to Star Wars, guys. So Ewan McGregor recently had an interview, and they asked him again about his little voice part that he did in Star Wars The Force Awakens. And of course, they asked him again about this rumor or hope that there would be an anthology film or a trilogy starring Obi-Wan Kenobi taking place in between episode 3 and episode 4, and what Obi-Wan was up to during that time. And Ewan McGregor said he would be more than happy to come back to do Star Wars again. He was so excited when JJ called him to do this little part in The Force Awakens, and he's totally up for it. Quote, "I'd be happy to don the Jedi robes anytime they want."
I think that'd be awesome.
Yeah.
I love Ewan McGregor.
Oh yeah, and of course, despite what you feel about the prequels, Ewan McGregor's Obi-Wan was a bright spot. If there was one bright spot, he would be it. Totally loved him. His portrayal made Obi-Wan another one of my favorite Star Wars characters. So him coming back would be great. Would you want him to do a whole trilogy or just one film?
I think one movie would be enough.
You think?
Yeah.
I mean,
there's so much Star Wars story to tell. Like, I just think a trilogy would be too much. It'd be overkill.
But I'd like to see him. I mean, I guess if there was one standalone movie. Yeah, he's supposed to be on Tatooine the whole time, but I wouldn't mind seeing one story where he might actually leave the planet for a little while. One story where he's fighting like Jabbas or bounty hunters or gangs or whatever, and just different adventures throughout.
One film, multiple stories and books.
Yeah, of course. I mean, they've already done that with the comic book, the Star Wars comic. They've told several stories, but yeah, I think one movie, several books and comics. I think you got it. That nails it about right. So, all right, guys. So that's it as far as our Star Wars talk for this portion. Now we're gonna jump over to something else that I think we'll both enjoy: X-Men. So the Hollywood Reporter reported last week that the Gambit standalone film has again been delayed due to rewrites. The Gambit film was supposed to start filming the first quarter of this year, and then actually it was again delayed once more because it was actually supposed to start filming September 2015, but they lost the director, Rupert Wyatt, and was replaced by Doug Liman. Now, Doug Liman is reportedly in negotiations to do a film for Amazon called The Wall, so he's going to do that before he does Gambit. Gambit seems like it's a little bit in a limbo at this point. Some people are saying the movie's just canceled altogether. Not quite sure, but the film is going to be produced and star Channing Tatum as of right now. But as far as when it's coming out, nobody knows. Don't know.
I don't have any interest in Gambit.
And that's the thing is, like, a lot of people are like, no, nobody cares about Gambit. I want to see it, but only if it's done right. Because, like, Gambit was my favorite X-Men as a kid. So if they do the character justice, I think it'd be really good. But I think what happened to this film was Deadpool. Deadpool has affected the genre so much in two ways. One, it shows movie studios that you can do superhero R-rated films and be successful. Not that you have to. You don't have to, but you can and be successful. And two, you don't have to have $200 million budget to make a good movie as well. Deadpool made for just over $50 million. That first weekend made over $150 as well. So it's...
I'm sorry.
You're just sitting here crunching on crackers the whole time.
Sorry, I'm hungry.
I thought we would grab some food after this, but okay.
Oh, okay. Well, we have to go get...
She's sitting munching on crackers.
I'll stop now.
Anyway, back to my discussion, which I was going...
I'm listening.
I was actually going to do a good point for once on the show, okay? For once. But, yeah, so you don't have to have the big budgets to make a quality film. You just have to have the right talent, the right people behind it. And I think once Fox made all that money off of Deadpool, they're like, wait a minute, we were setting Gambit for like $150, $200 million budget. Why are we doing that? Stop that. Let's rework our strategy so we can get more profit off of this film. And I think that's what's happening. I think it's still in the works, especially since Channing Tatum wants to play the role. Why not take this star and put him in the film? That's only going to help make you more money. Since he's behind it, I think it is going to get made. When it's going to get made, I don't know. I just want them to do justice to it.
Mm-hmm. I mean, I think the fact that, like, right now I don't care about it because I don't know anything about Gambit.
Yeah.
But I think I don't know anything about Deadpool, and as soon as the trailer started coming out for that, I was, like, super on board. Mm-hmm. So I think as long as they make it well and they do some good trailers, then they're going to get people like me on board, as long as it looks good. So they just have to do it right, like you said.
Yeah, exactly. So, all right. So moving on here, Empire Magazine had a big article about X-Men Apocalypse. They had multiple covers with all the characters on them. They did cast and crew interviews, and one thing they were talking about how this was the last film under contract for the first class stars, which are James McAvoy, Michael Fassbender, Nicholas Hoult, and Jennifer Lawrence. So I've heard last year that McAvoy and Fassbender have actually, I think, since signed on for more films. That's just a rumor. I'm not 100% on that. And that Lawrence, she actually didn't want to do any more films. That's what I heard, at least, because she didn't want to wear the blue makeup anymore. But she told Empire that she is willing to come back and do more X-Men films and play Mystique. She said, quote, "I'm dying to come back. I love these movies. I love being in them. I love ensemble movies because it's not on anyone's shoulders." X-Men Apocalypse comes out next month. Yes.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, I don't know. I don't know if I believe that she's coming back or not. But
so after the last trailer, I was under the assumption that she wasn't under contract for anymore, that she didn't want to come back. And then there was that shot of Apocalypse strangling her in the trailer, and I'm like, what if Mystique dies? I mean, because you obviously at this point can't have anyone else play Mystique.
No,
I don't think.
Not in
the continuity. Not if unless they jump way ahead and get Rebecca Romaine back or something like that.
No.
But at this point, you can't have Mystique carry on without Jennifer Lawrence. So you have to have, if Jennifer Lawrence isn't going to do any more films, given that she's such a focus in this new X-Men universe, you have to have something happen to her if Jennifer Lawrence isn't going to continue. I think so. Whether she dies,
I think there's going to have to be some deaths in this movie. I mean, Apocalypse. The trailers look like all kinds of death and destruction.
Essentially, it's the end of the trilogy,
right,
too.
So if they all make it out, that's kind of stupid on their part for storytelling.
I can honestly, I know McAvoy and Fassbender, not going to happen.
No, they'll survive. But I mean, I think they've got to kill off some of the other characters.
I could see Beast biting it too.
Yeah, I mean, they're going to have to kill off some of the other characters.
They're going to have, I think, Xavier and Magneto are safe, and then your new characters, your Storm, your Cyclops, your Jean Grey, I think they're all safe as well. It's the old cast members. I mean, even Moira as Rome Grimm, I think she's up for the axe possibly. We'll see. But yeah, like I said, I think some people are going to have to die.
Yeah.
Jennifer Lawrence seems up for it, and of course, given the fact that she's a big star, I think they'll be more than willing to have her continue. It just depends, I guess, really, if they're going to pay her, because I'm sure she's not going to be cheap if they put her in her new contract. So
yeah.
So sticking with Fox, that's the end of X-Men, guys. But we're sticking with Fox because they just announced the title for the new Kingsman film. Kingsman: The Golden Circle will be the sequel's title. And as rumored earlier, Julianne Moore will play the lead villain, Poppy, and Halle Berry will play Ginger, the co-lead of the CIA. So according to Empire, Matthew Vaughn spoke with him saying, quote, "I don't know if I wanted to direct this one or not. I was worried about the villains. Spy films are only as good as their villains. Then one morning I woke up with the whole storyline in place and a new villain plot. You try not to read what people want, but they do want another church sequence. I have no reason for another massacre to happen, but I have other sequences you've never seen before." You enjoyed Kingsman, didn't you? I mean,
I loved Kingsman. I was very surprised.
Yeah, because
pleasantly surprised by
you
Kingsman.
actually were the one. I didn't really want to buy it on Blu-ray because I liked the movie, but I didn't like it that much. But you were like, "Hey, you're gonna buy Kingsman on Blu-ray?" And I'm like,
I really liked it.
I guess we can. So you excited for the sequel?
I am, especially with Julianne Moore as a villain. Like that sounds awesome.
Halle Berry, I'm like,
whatever. But Julianne Moore, that's going to be awesome.
And especially when he's Vaughn's sitting here talking about how he wants to make strong villains as well. Having a strong spy female villain like that, that'll be awesome.
Yeah, I think I'm excited for it.
It'll be really cool. Yeah, I mean the Golden Circle, doesn't really mean much if we don't know the story too well or the player, but I think it'll be good. Having the church sequence, of course, you can't do something like that. And Vaughn's not the type of director to just repeat.
Right, and that's not any good. I mean, when they just repeat the same shit, then it's not good.
Exactly. So, but giving us something new, but just as exciting, I think that's what he's hoping for. And I'm excited to see. Like I said, Vaughn is a good director. I'm excited to see what he comes out with.
Yeah.
Oh, that'd be cool. This next one, I don't think I really need to say about this, but Robin Wright has joined the cast of the Blade Runner sequel.
Yeah, I mean, I don't care. Robin Wright's great, so it's one of those things, like they say, never.
We got other stuff to talk about because the second week of Batman v Superman: Dawn of Justice has occurred, and it took a 68% drop.
I totally knew it was going to be less than all that 70 shit.
Everyone was predicting like 80 million, 70 million, and it made 58 million, I think was what it was. So it was the second biggest drop for a superhero film in its second week. The first place being X-Men Wolverine Origins.
Oh.
Or X-Men Origins Wolverine.
And that movie was terrible.
I know. To be compared to that film is not a good sign. But according, I just read something earlier that Warner Brothers is not really concerned. They're still moving ahead with their plans. But, of course, we're hearing rumors as well now. One of the stories is that Suicide Squad is undergoing reshoots to, quote, make the movie more funny. A source from inside said every joke in the movie is in that trailer. So Warner Brothers is calling for massive reshoots up to tens of millions of dollars to put more jokes in the film.
I don't understand this. Jokes, the absence of jokes wasn't the problem with Batman v Superman.
Yes.
I mean, if there was a few more jokes, it still wouldn't have changed the overall
crappy
gloom and
storyline.
doom. Well, that and the overall gloom and doom of the movie.
And they want to make a lighter, which I get.
But adding jokes isn't going to make the film lighter. Making a film lighter, you have to have that's an overall tone. Just throwing if you just said a couple times in the movie, Batman said something funny, it wouldn't have changed the tone of the film.
Well, it would have made him a better character.
Yeah, but I'm just saying,
instead of an asshole.
Going into this movie and adding a few jokes isn't going to change the tone. And Suicide Squad it should be darker. That's fine. I don't think the tone in this one has a problem.
Yeah, this should have been darker than Batman v Superman.
Yeah, Batman v Superman just needed a little bit lighter tone. I'm not saying they should have made it Marvel, all jokes from every direction and whatever, but it just should have been a little bit lighter. It was so super dark.
True. But yeah, I think, I don't know. I mean, either way, I think Suicide Squad is going to be better than Batman v Superman just because of the director. I like David Ayer better than I like Zack Snyder. But I'm not as invested in this movie or these characters as I was Batman v Superman. So I'm probably going to be a little more lenient on my critique of it. I believe, and I think a lot of people are, just like Guardians of the Galaxy. People have never heard of Guardians of the Galaxy. They weren't expecting really anything from it. So I think that's why everyone was so surprised how much they liked it.
Well, see, that's what I say with Batman v Superman. That's why I keep saying I wasn't actually let down because I wasn't expecting it to be great. So,
There's that. The silver lining, huh?
Yeah.
Great. Okay. All right, so sticking in the DCU, guys, the LA Times had an interview with director James Wan, who is going to be directing the Aquaman film for Warner Brothers, and he had this to say, quote, "I would love to capture the fun spirit of high seas adventure, treasure hunts, sea monsters. That's the spirit I am looking for. Swashbuckling. As I've always said, whether it's at Marvel or at DC, they have that sandbox. That sandbox is in place, so you have to come in there and play with their sandbox. But the key is to build your own sandcastle and make that sandcastle yours." Jason Momoa is going to be playing Aquaman in this film. We just saw him as a brief cameo in Batman v Superman: Dawn of Justice. According to previous reports, the film story goes like this. Quote, "Aquaman is a reluctant hero of the underwater kingdom of Atlantis who is caught between land dwellers that are always polluting the globe and his own people who are ready to invade the surface." Momoa is also going to be in the Justice League films, Part 1 and 2, that are going to come out in 2017 and 2019. Aquaman is scheduled to come out July 27th, 2018. Does this premise for the films, make you want to see the movie more, less? What do you think?
I don't know. I don't really know a lot about Aquaman, so...
Aquaman, to me, it's always been... It's kind of like Thor, where it's him and his brother fighting over the crown, because his brother wants to invade the surface world. He's trying to get him to not do it. So it plays very much like Thor underwater, I guess. Take that first Thor movie and you can put it underwater, essentially, is what you can do. I'm a big Aquaman fan, so I'm excited for this film. I wasn't excited when Jason Momoa was cast because I haven't seen him enough to really say if he has any actually good acting chops.
Yeah, I have no idea.
And then James Wan, the last movie of his I saw was Furious 7, and that didn't exactly scream Shakespeare to me. So I'm not excited for the film, but these comments, having him talk about how, you're playing in DC's sandbox, but you have to make your own sandcastles. I like that because that's what Marvel directors are doing. They have the Marvel characters, but each film has a different feel to it. So I think that's what they need to do. They need to make Aquaman have a different feel from Wonder Woman. Wonder Woman needs to feel different from Green Lantern, stuff like that. They need to get the genres or subgenres inside the other genres, is what I think. Now, he was talking about treasure hunts, sea adventures, and swashbuckling. I'm just like, what is this going to be, a Pirates of the Caribbean film?
Yeah, I don't know. It sounds kind of weird.
I hope not. It's not like that. Like I said, it's got to have, I think, more of a Thor feel to it is what it should be. We'll wait and see. By the way, James Wan, if you're listening, or anybody at Warner Brothers, you made a pretty good Aquaman film in Throne of Atlantis, so just stay close to that, and I think you'll be okay. Just make it a little better. I think it'll be okay. All right, so the last story, one of the last stories, was about Gal Gadot as Wonder Woman. She, of course, made her appearance in Batman v Superman: Dawn of Justice, and she spoke with ING about the upcoming Wonder Woman film. She said, quote, "Usually when you get a script and you work on a character, you start at the beginning and then you go to the end and you evolve with the character. In Batman vs. Superman, I started at the end result of Wonder Woman. In the standalone Wonder Woman film, it's the first time that we're going to tell the coming of age of Wonder Woman. I'm going to travel back in time. Wonder Woman is different from the woman you see in Batman vs. Superman. She's more naive and pure, and she's this young idealist who doesn't understand the complexities of men in life. Whereas in Batman v Superman, she's super. She's very experienced. She's been such an amazing. It's been such an amazing creative process. Wonder Woman will be particularly set in Themyscira, which is her homeland. She's also said that you're going to see part of London during World War One and a little bit in present day to help set up with the Justice League film Part 1 that comes out again in 2017. Wonder Woman was kind of okay in Batman v Superman.
She was alright. She didn't have enough acting in it
Yeah,
to really give us a sense.
The story itself, her story, I'm excited to see. So to say I'm a little more excited for Wonder Woman after seeing Batman v Superman, I think would be something I could say.
Yeah, I am.
Just this, from a story stand, her acting, we're still gonna.
I thought she was alright.
She was okay, but she didn't impress me.
But we'll see. We'll see what happens when she
We'll
has
see
her
about
own
that.
movie. Yeah.
What do you think about her comments? You know, it seems like she understands the process a little bit. She knows that she's got to be a completely different Wonder Woman than she was in Batman v Superman.
Yeah, no, I mean, I think it definitely shows she has a really good grasp on the character and you know what their plan is for her.
You know, maybe that she's really taking the character seriously, knowing that this is the iconic, you know, comic book female character above all others. Maybe she's taking it pretty seriously, I think.
Yeah, I think so.
But yeah, so that'd be cool. All right, so the last thing we're going to end on, guys, unfortunately, is a little bit of a low note. Hans Zimmer, who has done such great scores as the Dark Knight trilogy, Man of Steel, Batman v Superman, he announced that he is no longer going to be doing any superhero films. Zimmer also did The Amazing Spider-Man 2, which we'd all like to forget about, but he's a great composer, and he said he's moving on to other things, and that's it. Coming up, he's going to be doing the scores for Ron Howard's Inferno and Christopher Nolan's film Dunkirk. But he has retired from superhero films at the age of 58. Kind of sad about this, just because he's a great composer. Loved his Dark Knight music, despite how I feel about Man of Steel and Batman v Superman. The music in it was really good. I really liked the beginning part of Batman v Superman, the whole origin of, you know, Bruce and Batman and all that. I thought that was great score. I actually want to pick up the Batman v Superman score just because I thought he did a good job on it. So I'm sad to see he's not going to do any more superhero films. Very curious to see who Warner Brothers is going to get to replace him to help continue in their DC cinematic universe. And Lisa's texting on her phone.
I'm not texting. I'm dealing with important things about selling our house.
Oh, okay. Well, there you go then. I guess I got put in my spot, as happens.
I am sad that he's not going to be scoring any more superhero movies, but he's not leaving movie scores altogether, so
That's
I'm okay.
true, but he's not going to do all the movies that we watch, you know.
I watch other films as well, as do you.
Okay, let's just be honest, okay? When you go to the film nowadays, when you go to the movies nowadays, you go see superhero. Me, I go see different films. A lot of the films that you see are pretty much superhero films. Let's be honest about that.
That's mostly true. And,
and
movies that are based on books I've read.
Well, that's true, but they're not making any more Harry Potters, so.
Aw, don't remind me. That's so sad.
All right, guys. Well, that is it for us today. We got stuff to do. It's a busy week for us, but we'd like to thank you for listening. If you have questions, comments, hit us up, dayspringdiscussions@gmail.com. You can also hop on the Facebook group. We're there. Twitter. You can hit me up on Instagram or Twitter, Slim, SLYM, Dayspring12. Be happy to hear what you guys say. And that's it. You want to say anything else before we leave?
No, not so much. I'm good.
A woman of few words, she is. Unless she actually has something to say. Trust me.
Sorry.
All right, guys. Well, that is it for us. Tune in next week when I'll do it completely nude. Will that bring you more viewers, you think?
We don't, well, except that we're an audio podcast.
But wouldn't it be more interesting if I did it that way, just to entice people to listen maybe a little?
I don't think that would work.
whatever. Anyway, all right, guys. Until next time, same bat channel.